Morning, sir.
Hi, good evening. How are you?
Good. How about you?
Great, great, great. Oh, sorry,
Good evening,
not this
sir.
one.
Good evening, everybody.
Let's wait for a couple of minutes so that everybody else could join. So, have you worked on your this thing? Wait a minute, I'll just close this thing. Yes, I'll share this thing. I'll share these things. I'll just do.
Actually, I have a presentation on Sunday, so I was getting ready for that. So that's about it.
Sure, sure.
I will still need your input, just to make sure everything's crisp and clear. So
Okay.
no trouble
Yeah.
later.
Yes. Buzz me and we will coordinate on when we can do this thing. And another good suggestion given by Devji is like you can look for a partner or a person whom you can basically coordinate with on how to do interviews and those things. Like you can be choose a teammate where you can talk to him or her on daily basis on he or she can ask you a question saying could you please tell me about yourself, or those questions which we have shared with you. These questions are basically pretty repetitive in nature, and we were trying to basically trying to build a confidence so that if you know the questions which you answered previously, you will be able to speak up in without any stammering or thinking gap or something like that sort, and it really builds up the confidence overall. So I want everybody to work towards that. If not, we can have one-on-one session as well whenever you are free, I am free, and I know that's a bit difficult because of the day, night, and all those complications. So if you can choose partner between yourself, that'll help you a long way. That's how I want to put it.
Okay.
Sorry.
I don't know who's in my area, so that's kind of the issue.
Oh, there are many, like all batch one. Do you want me to give you a name or something? Let me put it on a group, like batch one, batch two, so we can understand. But you can choose anybody, whoever you're comfortable with. You can have Madhuri ji also. Means I believe you can discuss with her, and you can ask questions. You can do, because you're close to her, right? And you can almost, I think you're staying under same roof, so you can clearly at an advantage there. That's how I feel it. But yes, please feel free to choose anyone from our group. We have great participants here also. We have Leena ji, we have Pallavi ji, Deepika ji. So choose anyone, and I'll request the others also to do the same, because this is how we are going to grow, right?
How about Usha ji? Did Usha ji already is she done with her stuff already? Usha ji, did she already finish her resume and stuff?
No, Usha ji just changed the job, I believe. So she's a bit busy. She got a really great offer within, I think, recruitment space, and she moved on, and she just she'll join us after, I think, a week or so. That's what she said in her last communication. So I'm just waiting for her. She's active in a group and she is actively communicating though. So she's still attached with Guru School, and we are walking ahead.
Okay. All right, no worries. I'll coordinate with you.
Yes. But I'll just try to message somebody from the group, and try to get start the coordination overall, so that because it'll also take some time, right? Because the other person also have a free time whenever you are free or something like that. So we need to address those timing logistics. If you can do that as proactively as you can, it'll be really good. And most probably, I believe the way discussion with Devji is going on, next week you might start getting interviews and all, and we'll have a couple of vendor interview sessions in next week. Actual vendor interviews, not the session which we are trying to do. We have tomorrow morning also some vendor interviewing session. So let's try within our team try our best to leverage that time as well. So yes, anybody have worked on that workshop we talked about, or should we go in the next session? I know it's a bit of work there, so I can understand if you're working. We can start on quality assurance as of today. I need your
Raviji, just question that I think we're supposed to submit it by Sunday, right? This SRS.
Yes.
Okay,
Ma'am.
but this is the I have a question. The template that you sent, not the minutes of the this one template, but the SRS template is just like fill in the gap and put our project name and what we are working on it, right? That's a ready-made template.
Template, right?
Is
No,
that
there
the
are
usual?
chapters also. There are, I think, so you need to club in the information in the chapter as well.
I don't see a chapter. I'm looking at the SRS document, which says
Are you
enhance
sure?
the attendance. This one.
Wait a minute.
Has,
Let me employ this. Open the same document. I'll share that thing, so we can go on that thing together. It's good that you brought it up because
because I want to make sure. I mean, I'm not.
Yeah, ma'am. These are the chapters. These are the 5 chapters.
Where,
this is an introduction to the template.
Which one?
Could you see that? System requirement summary.
Yeah, system requirement
this
summary.
This is copy paste from minutes of meeting. Like what are the requirements, or what are the vision shared by the
introduction to the template. Okay, I got it.
Yeah, so we copy the whatever we mentioned in the minutes of meeting.
No,
Means
so
Mr. Ravindra put challenges in attendance management system. If he's working from for State Farm, I'll try to put it as a requirement. And then I put it like we had some discussions on how we as a technology partner, we Infosys as a technology partner can help him out in this scenario, and so on and so forth. What happened?
No, I got you. So this is just the template that we filled in our own project in, right?
Yes, ma'am.
And
yes.
then
Same thing with business requirement. I believe we can include all those HLD use case diagram, activity diagram here. And then we have some dependencies. What are the systems they have within their organization, which are already up and running. So we have to integrate with them, like the SAP we talked about, like any other system which have previously existed. Even that manual system where they used to record the attendance. So we need to club the new system and get the data retrieved from that system as well. We need to devise a way. We need to that's the solution all about, right? They're going to try to solve their problem, and
is this
that's
the
how
usual practice in the industry?
That's right, ma'am.
Okay.
You get pretty much something like this. There might be some different labels as per as the organizational involvement. They might call systems and service dependencies like technology portfolio. They might call the environmental integration. They might call integration services. So there could be a bit of different nomenclature used depending on how their quality system is evolved, and so on and so forth. So basically the name could be different, but overall this is the structure. We are trying to understand structure at a holistic level, right? Because every company have their own domain to be addressed. So there could be a domain where the integration is quite predominant.
Right.
When you try to build something like Android APK, right, you need to make sure it works on Apple, it works on iOS, it works on whatever the phones you're targeting in a given region.
They introduce at the time of invocation. They will let you know, right? They will
Yeah,
walk you
no,
through
no.
their policies?
As a BA, I'll give a suggestions here. Like, if I'm trying something for Indian or South Asian market, Android is predominant. If I try something for West North American market, the Apple is predominant.
Yeah,
And if
right.
I try for something like Central US, it's the overall Windows Phone is prominent. So these type of prominence you need to address for those new products. Or if you want to try something like a snowmobile bike, right? So you need to sell them where there's snow, right? You can't sell snowmobile bikes in Mumbai or
Yeah,
in South
yeah.
Asian countries. So we need to build these strategies or guide the development team what the targets, how we can get it clubbed together with the market or the system dependencies on that market, and so on and so forth. So that's why we have this chapter. The verbos can be a bit different, and this is what we call induction. When you join a company,
Yeah, so
you'll
at the
have a
time of the
training.
induction, they can
Right, ma'am.
brief you,
They'll
right?
guide you on that,
Yeah, right.
and they'll share this template. Even they'll tell you, where to look for. Because we normally log into a cloud nowadays. We don't go and find something on a shelf. So they'll tell you how the cloud, where the cloud IP address, cloud server name, user credentials in the cloud, which are all server you might need to hit for this type of template, this type of discussions where you need to upload your documents which you have worked on. What is the procedure of upload? How you could notify other if you want to notify specifically, otherwise the cloud server does it for you. So these all environmental factor will be given to you whenever you're going to join an organizations, and that's how is the normal process, right?
Okay.
Does that answer your question, ma'am?
Yes, certainly. Thank you.
No problem, no problem. Anybody else have any question? And this is a need because we were trying to be as an in analyst shoes, and this will help us to actually understand how just give me a minute, please. This will help me to understand the actual ground level scenario where we can guess what we are going to do whenever we join a organization, right? And that's what we seen in the video as well, so that whatever the analyst does, whatever the analyst after joining the job does, we are prepared and ready for those things as well. So that's the whole motto behind this. So unless and until we have tried this before, you'll be confident whenever you go on the job. When you start your working, you'll be confident, like similar like this we've done within our workshop, and that's the whole point of sharing these exercises with you. And that's how we get a feel of the actual on-job training. That's what we call, right? So that's how we work for the previous batches also, and for these batches also. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it makes sense. And the other question I had before I forget, and we go on our
Sure.
usual topic, can you suggest any list of industry publications?
Yes, ma'am. I saw your message,
Yeah,
but
because that is like last time Dave had mentioned that, it is important to mention it during the time
right.
of your interview.
But frankly speaking, right now, what are the industry you're trying? I'll tell you how to find, frankly speaking, rather than because
Because we don't know, right? I mean, except BA, and we don't know what is the domain that I will find the job and what
No,
is the
ma'am.
domain
We have some straight guidance point on that. Let's think about like New Jersey area. What are the prominent industry you have around your house?
It's mostly pharma and insurance and
Great.
lot of
See,
manufacturing.
perfect. So let's start with pharma. So what I'll do, I'll try to go on their website, and in a Google I can search for pharmaceutical journals. I'll try to check for pharmaceutical advancement in industry, and you'll get across couple of website. You'll get across.
My question is related to BA publications, like
Uh-huh. BA
the
is
news
basically
and
that.
publications.
Yeah, IIBA, you can subscribe there. They have certain newsletters which they shares the new tools and new tools where industry is adapting and those things. But for that, what I'll really suggest, let's get started on a job, and then we'll basically align ourselves on the industry. Because as I told you, like BA is an artistic work. The template we do use, but it's more or less 80% what we think. what we the content is more important than the template, because we try to understand the vision, right? We try to understand vision, convert it to requirement, convert it to functionality. This whole crux, this whole understanding is what I include in this document. The template, yes, but that work is more of artistic nature or situational driven rather than pre-formatted things. You might have a business analyst for a new product, so you might have more of regional analysis in terms of dependency more. If you do something like the attendance enhancement solution, then you are clubbed with a client, which insurance client, where I'm trying to find advances in attendance management system enhancement than insurance industry, right? So if you target yourself for a particular industry as of now, I think it'll be a bit challenging because it's too much thing on a plane. Other than that, what I would really request you to build your profile, work on that, build your, I know you're quite confident in terms of how do you, discuss and put forth your thought processes. So I'm, quite confident on you clearing interview in first few session. That's what I believe. But still, you can help the other partners also to be more prone or ready for the interview. And we can basically understand the overall BA on a holistic level. So I believe let's start enrolling in IIBA as an organization, subscribe for their newsletters. And even if you in the YouTube, if you search for something like business analysis advancement or business analysis work culture or something like that, you'll get in more insights than insights for the current scenario rather than looking at the very long picture right now. Because whenever we get a client, I'm there to share you on domain specific knowledge. Let's say if you're talking about pharma industry, then there are some good workflows which are available on the internet. So how pharma industries work, how auto industries work. I have shared I think auto industry to Pallavi ma'am, and I think she's going it. It might complicate a bit more than whatever we can chew for. That's what I feel. But again, yes, it depends on personality. It depends on how much time and effort you can put in. So that's also another way. So I don't want to really complicate the matter at this moment. What I would really like to you to work on the profile and the first project. So whatever you can explain in the project you're working currently, I think that's one of the most crucial thing, because explaining the current work scenario is really important. So he or she, the interview should be should be confident, like whatever you're doing is in line with the analysis, is in line with the whatever product you are working on, is in line with the process and policies of a industry, based policies and processes of industry. How do you do that? You read through those lines, whatever we've written down in the profile. Let's say in terms of Ravindra Pandey, he written like he's working for ICICI Bank in New York. So what I'll tell him, okay, he'll ask me, so Ravindra, could you please tell me what you're doing in your current project? Or could you please tell me where you're working currently? This means that you need to explain your project where you are working currently. So what I'll do, I'll start with, yes, I'm working with ICICI Bank in New York remotely as a business analyst. So, I get a request from my sales team, from my project manager saying, okay, Ravindra, please, start working on something like building a new system or building a new dashboard for a non-performing asset in the Eastern American region. Now this topic which I've shared with him, I have to come up with such topic while discussing. We don't put this in the profile as in the correct functionality, because then this is what I can show current progress, and I need to talk on that rather than write it on there. I can write it there, and many people do that also, but this restrict the whole progress. Like you are working on a smaller or bigger environment, and the interview might try to gauge on the work depth level if you written it in the profile. So what we do, we normally discuss it out so that on fly he understand what you're working on, how to explain the workings, what the analysis is all about, what what type of diagrams you have to make, what type of use case diagram, HLD diagram, the SRS template, and how's the approval process, how you do the brainstorming, how you do the surveys, how you plan the interviews of users, because now everybody is on, everything is online, right? So we do through Zoom, Google Meet, and all these online meeting tools, even Skype and all those. So let's try to understand those in depth, because whenever you are ready for such scenario, you can explain in depth and you can speak confidently. And I think that's more crucial than anything else. So once you are really ready with, tell me about yourself type of question, then this is the next step what we are working on. And I'm kind of giving you questions, before I might have asked you in, tomorrow's session, so that we can prepare in advance on this, right? So think about those lines. If I'm working in a bank, if I've written that I'm working in an ICICI bank, then I should have, thought about a product or something which I'm working on currently, right? Because as an employee, I add to the overall kitty of organization knowledge base, organization workforce, and I have to understand my part very well. So how do I do that? I need to devise a strategy. I need to devise understanding how business analyst is working in a given company. Let's say ICICI Bank, New York. ICICI Bank is in New York. It's not very big facility, but I think they employ around 100 150 employees there, and there are BAs. There are a couple of IT coordinators. There are a couple of what they call project coordinators, right? And they are business analysts. So what business analysts do? They coordinate with in-bank, new strategic product enhancement, like we discuss. Let's think about if I want to make a new dashboard for NPA, non-performing assets. What is non-performing assets? Non-performing asset is a thing where bank have incoming revenue share on a periodic basis, in terms of installment, in terms of home loan which you are returning to them, in terms of auto loan which you are returning to them, and various other sources like business loans and those things. So you track these incomings or revenue incomings to the bank on a particular dashboard, where I say Ravindra Pandey needs to clear his installment, which is planned on 30th January or 1st of February, and his account should have enough balance so that I can fire a debit query on his account and get those amount to the bank's kitty, and I can write off that installment in my this thing. If he don't have the money, I need to make sure he or she shouldn't be a non-performing asset, because if he or she couldn't pay, and due to COVID we have quite a few financial challenges, so these things keep happening. So I need to really understand how bank are at a loss in such scenario, and I need to build a dashboard, or I need to proactively build a table where I'll show Ravindra Pandey as in red because he couldn't pay the installment, or he is not in a position to pay the installment even the day is tomorrow or day after tomorrow, so that the banking analyst or the banking reviewers or auditor, they go and check on Ravindra Pandey's account. Is he have some RD, or RD is recurring deposit. Recurring deposit, what we normally have money coming in from other account to this account to make sure that that installment is getting paid, right? So we need to make sure if we have an RD, then I'm quite sure like that RD will flush the money to the account, and then bank is in a good position to retrieve that amount from him. Could you understand the functionality flow here?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Okay. So whoever have ICICI Bank, they can talk on similar line. Could you please tell me anything others than ICICI Bank, whatever thing you have as an your first project or the current project, so that I can guide them as well. Rudra, I believe you have something on. I'm not mistaken. I couldn't recall. Could you please guide me what project you are working on? Your
Wait,
first.
wait. He's not here. Let me
Oh,
call.
okay, no problem, ma'am. Have you started working on your profile, ma'am, Madhuri, madam?
No, sir. But I will start soon. It's
You
little.
need to start sooner, otherwise,
I know. It's difficult to understand. This all. It's not very sinking in my head very well.
No, man. You need to put on a bit more efforts. I can understand that, but if you start means you can get a guidance from Rudra as well for that matters. And we had a couple of good sessions on resume building, and Devji was guiding that also. So please try to be there, because he can guide you very well. He's the best, frankly speaking. I'm not a recruiter. I'm an analyst. I'm a IT person, so I can guide you in terms of the domain knowledge, in terms of what you should have as an first project. And this is well aligned with the region you are located in, because whatever the industry, the major industry you have around your home or house, you try to join those company, because whenever this COVID gets over, 6 months down the line, a year down the line, you might start going visiting that company also frequently. So the way we are doing this thing, trying to analyze whatever the industry is in your home state, home area, so that we can get attached to such industry, and we can get aligned our profiles towards such industry. So I believe what I've got from Rudra, you have governmental agencies within your vicinity, and you have quite a few I think hospitals. You have quite a few IT establishment within your vicinity. So something like that sort. So we need to start working on that. Start thinking on a target industry, if that makes you much aligned with the thought process. Does that make sense, ma'am?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah, so please start working as early as you can. And I think we are already delayed on that, if I can say so. Anybody else want to ask any question on domain or current project to me? This is crucial, because we are working towards getting a job. Training is of course important, but getting job is the most important things we are going to do. The course is designed specifically for getting a job, because I am there to support you even on a job. So please don't worry on the other scenario. So even if you miss a training, okay, I can understand that because of other engagements and all. But if you miss your resume preparation, if you miss this interview session, it's really put a negative impact overall on our progress, because that's how this whole training exercise, or that's all whole these Guru Schools alignment towards the job exercise is kind of detrimental over there, right? Could you understand me what I'm trying to say here?
Yeah.
Yes, so we need to really align of preparing our resume, getting these interviews cleared as early as we can, so that we can start earning, and we can have these sessions whenever you start working as well. So please don't wait for what I can say, everything I'll learn and then I'll start. No, there's a learning on job as well. And as an analyst, we have quite a good amount of thinking, or quite a good amount of homework to do in terms of how can I solve the solution better. This is a thinking process. This is an artistic alignment. That's what we talked about. So templatization, yes, we the work we do is basically fill in the blanks. Means, if I can say so, in a holistic level, and that's how Devji say whenever you have candidate counseling session. BA is basically fill in the blanks mostly. We use template. We use some predetermined the processes, and we just collect the data and insert into them, and we basically conceive the solution. Though conceiving the solution or understanding of vision, converting it to the requirement, converting it to the functionality is the main thing we do. This is all brain job, and then the rest is just the templatization. So we don't do programming. We don't bang on keyboard. We don't bang on computer systems. We just learn to adopt them and use it effectively. That's all we're going to learn. So most of the process is thought process, the artistic work of a BA. I hope I'm able to guide you through the exact thought process of a BA, because last time we seen a BA working in a Google, right? There were more discussions than writing down. If you can see the video, right? Even that guy with the cap, he also told you, like, it's more of coordination efforts than writing it down, because the data collected is basically inferred and written down. The rest of it is just copy paste. Means somebody else, if I've done the MOM, I'll got copy paste from the complete list of issues, list of requirements, and start working on that, something like that. So my working is hardly at 20 or 30% level. Means if I can say so, this percentage differ depending on the organization's way they handle BAs. And this is what all we do. The more is thought process, more is understanding, more is coordination, and less is, fill in the blanks. Okay, and this is how the BA works. In some scenario, you might work as BA as well as Scrum Master. So what Scrum Master does, they coordinate such meeting, right? We basically we will have a look at that Scrum Master workings through our Agile Scrum training capsules, and you'll get an idea. You are normally even coordinating within the meeting. So what we do, we set up the priorities of the requirement for the current development, iteration. That's what we call sprint. And Richaji will guide on that within, coming week. And that's how, we work as an BA. And that's a kind of supporting or additional, duties I do. Even as a quality assurance guy or quality control guy. So we build some test cases. This is quality assurance. We run some test cases. That's quality control. And, we're going to have a look at that in, couple of next sessions. Okay.
Hello, sir.
Yeah,
Hey,
please go.
Sorry. You asked a question.
Yes. Rudra, what I was, sharing with everybody else is the importance of resume building and why we are having such sessions, right? So I was training them. We need to able to explain our current project. And, I could recall you because I think, that's what we discussed last time, right? So what was your current project?
The current project.
In your profile?
It was a ICSI.
ICSA, okay, great, no problem. So I was telling them, how could you explain ICICI Bank current workings? So you can come up with something like a topic of building a dashboard for NPS, non-performing assets, or helping them to improve website from customer coordination. So how do you do that? If customer lodged a complaint, like he can't see his overdraft list, he can't get the exact view of how the account is performing, how his fixed deposits are performing. You get all these kind of requests in ICICI support on a local branch. So you can be an analyst who are helping customer to get better updated information from the ICICI Bank portal. So you are closely working with banking portal development team, which is situated in Mumbai, India, Airoli, India to be specific. We have a company called ICICI Bank IT Services. Let's not go on the name. We have a division or a separate form entity which basically supports or do the ICICI banking IT development. So what you do as an analyst at working at New York, you coordinate with these customers. So if a customer called Ravindra calls, ICICI Bank, and they normally land up to a desk like support desk where Rudra is working. So what Ravindra Pandey will say, I couldn't see the exact amount in my account. I'm feeling that there are some deductions which are happening in the background, and these are the normal question comes. Even if they can see, they'll say something like that. If you're working with bank, you'll come across something, some customer like too inquisitive. That's how we, we label them. So what we do for them, yes, ma'am. Can I walk you through your balance sheet? Yes. So what you'll do, you'll have a session with him like this on Zoom and walk them throughout the overall their account statement one by one. The account statement might be on his or her mobile or a desktop, and you'll walk them through one by one. And if they have any question, you'll answer them. And this is what the support of bank is. Now, how analysis come into play? If the support says, in the last month, there was a difference of amount in credit and debit on our account sheet, then he will land up to a analyst. So analyst will explain, okay, so you couldn't view the complete information, and I'll put a request to IT so that you'll get that information in coming weeks, coming month, and we need to update our view of your balance sheet in that way. So we do such request processing. So if a client want to have an email delivered to him on the exact account statement at the end of the week, this is an extra request from a client. So what analysts will do, analysts will put a request to a banking IT team saying, hey IT, could you please build a process where this person can get a weekly account sheet or weekly account what he calls statement, right, via email. We normally don't send weekly account statement by by paper printed. We normally have in ICICI Bank, we have 6 monthly paper-based statement services which with some charges. But if you want an email-based statement, even if weekly, monthly, you can share with them via email, because the server has such facilities. They are already been built in, depending on the end of the day processing. So there's an end of week processing where I'll add Ravindra Pandey's name to share the weekly account statement with this person. So how do I implement this weekly account statement functionality, or a specific customized request for Ravindra Pandey? I do it through BA. So BA talk to Ravindra Pandey. They take such requirements. They build and coordinate with IT team. They also test before giving this thing to Ravindra Pandey. They test if you can get your weekly statement within your mailbox. Yes, I'm getting. So then you'll add this into these services to his account as well. Does that make any sense, Rudra?
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. So could you please explain, have you thought on this thing before, like how to explain my current project to the interviewer?
No, I haven't really gone in depth, but I could probably.
Please spend some 10-15 minutes. It's hardly 2 minutes or 2.5 minutes job. You don't have to, tell him essay, but we should be able to confidently speak what we are doing in our company day to day, right? Because analysts, we do requirement gathering. So requirement gathering of which people, the customers to your organizations, right? In ICICI Bank New York, my customers are basically the banking users, the loan, the auto loan takers, the business loan, customers I have attached with my bank, and so on and so forth. And I believe the New York Bank have more business loans than the customer loans, Kitty. And that way supporting business loan owners is more crucial or more important task, or it's a more of a task which will get assigned to ICICI New York branch. So how do you support if business and this is a normal query comes from a business, like they have an overdraft of $10,000 per month. They want to increase to $12,000 per month. How do you do it? You need to visit the credit ratings. There are credit rating companies in North America which normally provide you with a score. So you have a benchmark within IIT Bank policy saying if the person's credit score is more than 650, we can increase the overdraft by 10%. And this 10% is basically aligned with the deposit he or she have with the bank, including the fixed asset, the liquid asset. Now let's try to understand what is fixed asset and liquid asset. Fixed asset is basically all the things which is attached to ground, like building, swimming pool, the farmland, or the forest land, or whatever type of things which are attached to earth. Now what are liquid assets? You have jewelry in your jewelry deposited in the bank vault. You have some free RD coming in from other banks account. You have fixed deposit with the ICICI Bank, because whatever you are with ICICI Bank, they have their asset cost. They have their asset value, and they do this periodically, month by month basis, and that's how their process is. Okay, so these asset value you need to check out. If the asset value is more than the previous overdraft attached to the client, then you can increase the asset, increase the overdraft by say 10% or 20%, and that's a normal thing, right? But if it's not, it's already basically the facility is already allocated, then you can apologetically tell that person, hey sir, we have already given you overdraft of this thing, and I believe your asset value has been reduced to certain amount in last few months due to whatever reason. We can understand that. So either you have to increase your FD with ICICI Bank, or there are these many ways to increase your overdraft facility. So these type of questions what analyst and support will address, because Rudra, I believe you are working in a infrastructure analysis capacity, and even including support capacity, right? So these are the kind of mixed bag you have with you, and this is really a kind of step ahead depending on the analysis job selection, because you are a hot cake in that scenario. Support services with analysis does add a value. Programming capability with analysis does add a value. Even if you're not going to do the programming, even if you're not going to support anybody in the next job, but yes, you are basically having that knowledge, work there, done that. These adds up to the experience, and these basically makes you a hot cake. you'll get selected more frequently than others. This is how the job market works, and me to understand such what you can say added feathers to my cap, so that I'll stand out from the rest, right? And there are a few and within our team which we can clearly see the leverage there. But again, if you don't, please don't get what you can say discouraged by this, because you can still do some buttering within your profile building, and we can work on that. And this is what I need from you, like what you think your experience can guide you to have an additional feathers in your cap, right? And me and Rudra, we worked quite good amount of time, and that's how we came up with this updated profile segments like support with business analyst, right? And he can do it well. He's a student of computer science, so he know the overall IT paradigm, the IT wordings very well. And that's how Rudra can stand out in that scenario. Does that make sense, Rudra?
Yes.
Could you please spend 15-20 minutes on what you do currently at ICICI Bank? You might have a look at their portal and try to understand what that New York branch do, because they might have they will have a separate website for New York branch ICICI. You can find it through Google and all, or you can go through ICICI Bank's main site and find the branch website. They have their links and everything there, so who's the they don't call branch manager nowadays. I don't know what they call. There's a specific designation for a in charge of that branch. Yeah, they call it branch in charge. Yes, I believe that's the position. When I was in ICICI Bank support when I was working with Patni, so I know their overall internal structure also, and that's how my banking domain experience guide me on talking on these terminologies with you. So more you can throw up this terminology in banking domain, so the more you're equipped with that. You can go to YouTube and search looking for something like banking domain workflows. For others also, whatever domain you are working, you can type on a Google saying healthcare domain workflows, pharmaceutical domain workflows, or pharmaceutical domain periodicals, like you said, Lina ma'am, right?
Yeah.
And periodicals will land you to a couple of websites, because now I think paper-based editions are almost stopped in last 6 months because of that COVID regulations, rules and regulations. So I can have a look at that good website, and that's really good thing. Means if you can spend time on that, it will add a value. So whenever you're talking, you'll be more confident. You are more aligned to what we have mentioned in the profile, right? And this will take you to a new level. You can get selected as early as possible. Your income will start as early as possible. And just to share with you, if you can start job tomorrow also, you can do the analysis duty very well, and I am there to support you. So please don't think like we are doing training and then I have to stop for getting this training complete and to join the job. Am I make myself clear? Could you understand what I'm trying to say?
Yes.
So yeah.
So I searched it up, and so I see interview questions on banking domain software testing.
Yes.
Is that the one?
That's right. That's right.
Okay.
Our banking support as well in your case. Okay. And this is how we need to work on our interviews, and please work on proactively. And I can understand if you have any question for me, just buzz me on a WhatsApp and I'll try to guide you as much as possible. But yeah, I would really request, don't go on looking for periodicals as of now. Just try preparing for the interview. So right now we have to do interview, so that we'll be up and ready for the job interview. So whenever opportunity comes on my door, I'll be completely ready with all the arms and animation required to capture that.
No,
because
that
that's
I
what
understand. No, that I understand. The reason
Yes,
I
ma'am.
asked you about the publication is because
No.
they had mentioned.
I'm not. You're very right on your
Because
level,
he said
because
mention it when at the interview that
I know.
just mention 1 or 2 names so that they know that you are current.
Exactly. And in your case or my case, we have worked or we have so much experience, so that we have to have these journal names at least on our fingertips to guide to
It's a
them
kind
also.
of a show
Yes.
off, it's a cherry
Yes,
on the
I know,
top.
I can understand. Because for other it will be bit overwhelming for the information thing, but for you, for me, we have worked in the industry for 25 plus years, so we know how this impression thing works, right? How we can impress the interviewer. For others, they are getting ready to start introduction levels, or start working on their current scenario and explain it well. So that's why it differs for you and me, or all, very senior people who have worked in industry for more than 20 years. So, this has been different from you and me, ma'am. I can clearly understand that. And I'm not saying, you are wrong on any count. We have, you have a doubt and you are, please feel free to ask. Please don't worry, like what, I'll think, what the others will think. Please don't worry. If you have a doubt, speak up and ask. And that's what I'm encouraging you to, because unless and until I know your, doubt, I couldn't guide you.
Thank
Okay.
you. Thank
So
you.
our priority is now building up the profile, getting ready for the interview. And if I can help you in any way, we can have one-on-one session. We can have, group session as well. Like we have having at, I couldn't recall the time, tomorrow morning. So please be there. You can be a listener, or you can start explaining the question which I'll ask. I'll give you already what you're doing in your current project, or what you're doing for ICICI Bank New York. So you could be able to hold the conversation for a minute or two, so that as a business analyst, I can hire you as an employee, and I could be confident enough so that Ravindra can work for a banking business analyst and support position, or banking in business analyst coordinator type position. So all these banks, whatever we have mentioned, they have their parts in India. So how BA works, they coordinate with Indian team. So you have something like Zoom call, Skype meeting, early in the day or late in the night, depending on their logistical, processes. Yes. Anybody have any question?
Yeah. So some people said 9 o'clock. Some people said 10 o'clock for tomorrow. I just wanted to confirm which one should we show up?
Okay, I'll share the timings at least 1 hour ahead of time, or just give me a minute. I'll have a look at that timing.
Okay, no worries. Thank you.
I'll post it in a BAQ group. Please don't worry. I'm just having a look at that group. I couldn't just give me a minute. I have this. Where are we?
It is from 10 to 12 tomorrow, EST.
Oh, yes. It's from 10 to 12. You could see the Google logo in a meet tomorrow, 30th January, from 10 a.m. to 12 noon EST. So please be there.
Thank you.
No problem. Most welcome, Rutra. I'm happy to help, and we need to get ourselves aligned and ready for this interview. And everything, whatever required from my side, I'll be there with you. So please don't worry. Okay. Anybody else have any questions on interviewing?
I'm good.
And I believe we got an idea how to look for a domain. We call them workflows. As a business analyst, we create those activity diagram workflow, right? Or you can write in a Google use case diagram for ICICI Bank work, business flow. You can try to play around with these words, whatever we work. You might find a HLD also, because ICICI Bank is a quite matured IT company. They have a complete IT company for themselves, which do supports ICICI banking. And then they have some vendors like Patni, Infosys, Cognizant, who are supporting them in these, ICICI banking for support and analysis type of work, right? So that's how we learn, and that's how we grow. So if you have any question, please feel free to ask. I'll be happy to, answer those queries. But let's get geared up for this interview, right? Now, I have another question for you. Yes, today is a day of questioning. Could anyone explain me what you mean by quality? We talk about quality, right? Today I have a really great quality tea. Today I have a really great quality, I have a good quality day today. I've enjoyed the day too much. Something like that, right? So what do you mean by quality? Let's try to discuss that out. This is important from a BA perspective, because this is the next step in our analysis paradigm. So whenever you finish your analysis, we have that meeting. We can call it a project kickoff meeting or knowledge transfer meeting. So what we do there, we transfer the complete SRS document to the project manager, the team, right? The development team, the construction team, depending on what you're closely working on. So what we do, we transfer this knowledge, and in that knowledge, that project is basically given a green signal, budgetary approval, and all those things. So then we need to start planning for the quality, bringing up to the whole this new engagement. So how do you bring in quality, and what do you mean by quality? And we need to ask ourselves, And we need to speak up. So who wants to tell me what they mean by quality?
Without bugs and errors.
That's right. That's right. Wow. That's good. Anybody else?
Quality refers how good something is compared to other similar things.
Okay. How good is with
Good
comparison to others? Okay, great. No
other, yeah.
problem. Great.
I
Anybody
think I
else?
would say some characteristic of something, like a feature of
Right.
something.
Properties or characteristics. Very well said. Anything else?
It can be a functionality which is, defect free, or to catch how many defects or bugs are there, or how much it is deviating from the initial vision and the plan.
Wow. That's great. I couldn't get your name, ma'am. It's Vishal's phone,
Oh,
right?
sorry, this is Deepti. I'm sorry.
Okay,
By
Dipti, no,
default,
no
it
problem.
comes.
Okay,
I'm
oh yeah,
sorry.
Dipti, I know you are really hardworking participant, and yes, you are very right on you're bang on. So in IT, the way we work in IT, we call it conformance to the requirement. So what is conformance to the requirement? If I have collected 11 requirements from my client, I have to transfer all 11 requirements, its priorities, its scenario, its exceptions to the development team. And then whatever development team will work on, the solution, product or services should conform to all those 11 requirements, right? As we seen in our business analyst training capsule, whatever I collected, I need to collect in a concise way, in a complete way. So whatever requirement I collect in a complete way means I need to understand the background. I need to understand why that requirement is coming to the table to build, why they can't get adjusted within their team, or why they can't use something tactical measures, right? Because whatever comes to analysis, these are all strategic project, solution or services planning, right? So I need to understand why, what not. So all these nook and corners of a requirement, I need to collect and put it in a document called SRS and ship it to the development team. So what all quality is required is within that conformance of the requirement. So if I can understand the requirement complete in the sense, the priorities, the scenarios, the exceptions and all, then I'll say the requirement is in a one unique requirement or one unique business requirement in its completeness, and I need to transfer the knowledge completely with that requirement to the development team with the use of use case diagram, high level diagram, with the use of various system dependencies, various functional requirement, non-functional requirement, and all these ways of building requirement that make it concise. And the development team might have some questions, might have some implementation challenges. Like we see, there were challenges with light blue eyes and Philips scanner. So there, as an analyst, I might sit up, I might go back and try to work on if there are any better scanner available, better iris scanner available. So I found Sony, which is 4 times the cost. So I will adjust this thing. What I'll do, I'll reduce number of Sony scanners, but still I'll have some Sony scanner at a scanning so that I don't miss the light blue eye kind of business problem. So it's my duty to address all the solution in a completeness, and the development team will get that completeness from business analysis with the meetings, with repetitive meeting, with repetitive discussions, and so on and so forth. So I might need to go back to the business user to ask some additional question even after I transfer knowledge to the IT people. And nowadays we work on something called agile. What agile does, agile talks about closeness with your client, daily coordination with your client, daily discussions with your clients to make sure whatever I am developing, whatever I am constructing should not be misaligned with the business requirement, misaligned with the business vision, whatever shared with BA. So that's how my ownership of document is complete. But still I work in an advisory capacity now, and my advice does play a quite crucial part in the construction development, the quality assurance, quality control way as well. So I need to understand these nook and corners and how I can stop such leakages, how I can make sure the product solution or services are conformed to the requirements. Does that make sense?
Yes, sir.
Yes. And as you say, quality of your,
Sir,
yeah, go ahead,
can
please.
quality can be said in this way? The SRS collections and the code building of development team should be matched in every detail, and as a BA, we
Right.
should align them.
Perfectly, ma'am. Very perfectly said. And
Thank you.
the use of these words make you really, a thoughtful BA. So you have understood it completely. And that's how I want to say it. It's really great, ma'am. Thanks for that.
Thank you.
So this
Thank
is how we do it. So conformance, because we don't what you can say, we couldn't get the background change on daily basis. So what we do, we have these scrum calls on daily basis, and clients are welcome to participating those. They might or might not, depending on their logistical issues of other engagements and seniority and all those things. But still, on a holistic level, that's how the framework is planned, so that you are closely coordinating with the client day in day out basis. For a team, you do tea for yourself, or you do tea for your husband, in-laws, or your kids and daughters. So you're sitting across the table, and they can share their satisfaction or any challenges or issue in the quality of a tea, right? Or they can basically share the non-conformance with you, if I want to take talk it in a IT way. So they can share the non-conformance across to you within few seconds after delivering your product. But in an IT scenario, it takes a couple of weeks, or at least a few days, to get the response from these client side about the taste, about the quality, about the overall deliveries what we've shared with the client. And this how we'll progress, and we'll have a look at it in an agile methodology framework, how we basically capture those non-conformance or unsatisfactory thing. So quality is directly linked up with the satisfaction. So if you have a better satisfaction, I'll say it has a good quality. Okay. Again, this also basically can be thought through in a day-to-day life. So whatever car you drive, if you're satisfactory with your car, you might not change it. If you're not satisfied, like you might don't you might like a roomier car, a bigger car, but your car don't have a too much leg room for back seat, or something like that. So you might keep thinking about improving the car, right? And this is how our new product consumption basically gets us ready for. And that's why our spending gets increased depending on how we think. So how our satisfaction is basically getting uh, aligned, or getting ready to basically opt for the new purchases, right? Could you understand me what I'm trying to say here?
Trying to.
Yes. So why I plan for a new car? Because I feel my older car, the current car, having some shortcomings, having some issues, or couldn't match my complete satisfaction levels. And that's how we interpret the quality to the satisfaction level on a proportional basis. So if I have a good satisfaction, I will not go for the new car. I'm satisfied with the quality which I have as far as the current execution goes. But yeah, there's something called deal mange more, but that's another scenario. Let's try to look at it from a holistic perspective. So quality is satisfaction, quality is conformance, right? So let's try to discuss. We basically have a look at, is it a good or bad? If it's a good and I can work with it, I'm good, I'm happy currently, right? The customer satisfaction is at the peak importance, and that's why we have the engagements. That's why we closely work with the various clients, right? So there the satisfaction is at the most important and crucial part, and he's paying for the the software solution which you're going to give it to him, right? So that payment is directly linked with the satisfaction. So more satisfied customer, I'll get better paid, I'll have bigger profit margins. And that's how all organizations work, right? If you're really satisfied with your Android phone, you might not purchase Apple phone. So Apple phone will try to butter their marketing fundas, butter their advertisement. They'll make the advertisement more cheesy, more tempting, so that you might feel, oh, I don't have this feature in my Android phone, so should I get an Apple phone? And that's how you normally spend thrice the amount of an Android phone for an Apple phone. These are phones, right? At the end of the day, you make calls, you use WhatsApp, you do meetings like these, and so on and so forth. But yes, there are some additional facilities like 3 cameras, 5 cameras, LED flash, this torch, this alert, that alert, and all these kind of scenarios. So why we go for a new phone? Because my satisfaction is not at a peak when I'm using my current phone. One day I might look for a new phone. Okay, does that make sense? Could you relate to your day-to-day life scenarios like these?
Yeah.
Yes. So this is how we basically conform to the satisfaction. We normally get try to get more and more satisfaction day in, day out, and that's our nature, that's our human nature. So what the product company do, they try to build some more advertisement with some false acquisition also. Like we say that fairness product, right? We know the skin can't get fair with the fairness product. What they do, they just bar the dust which is coming from the environment, and that's how you feel, or you get a feeling like you're getting fairer day by day. But no, if you want to get fairer, what you do, you can go and have a bleach of skin. But yes, that's extreme, right? Because they have the side effects, or they have the problems of the world. If you bleach your skin and all, but still we do some bleaching to our face skin so that I might look fairer, and that's how the overall society works. So you still want more. There's no end to it. So unless and until you build up a satisfaction within yourself, you are keep improving yourself, you are keep spending on your wants and needs, and sorry, wants, not needs. Needs, yes, needs are requirements. Needs are basic requirements. So whenever I conform to those requirements, whenever I satisfied your requirement, I believe you are happy, or I believe you're sufficiently happy, so that whatever product I am creating, if I can match up to your expectation, if I can match up to your confirmation, I am believing I'm making you happy, I'm making you satisfied. And that's how the whole quality thing in the IT thought process works, right? So requirement designing, testing, deployment, functionality, traceability is what we do as an analyst, as an IT department, right? So we collect requirement. We as in business analyst, we collect requirement, we build requirements out of visions, we build some functionality, then the architects and designers of the world, they design it, they test it. There's a testing team as well, and me as a business analyst, I support them. I am advising them on conformance to the requirement, even during construction phase, even during the development construction phase. I closely work with this team so that whatever we are developing, whatever we are constructing is in line with the requirement, right? Is aligned perfectly towards the requirement. And that's how we work in a day-to-day life as a business analyst, right? The requirements, basically we conform to the functionalities, whatever we envisage, whatever we have developed from the vision we have collected, requirement to functionality, right? And functionality means functional requirement as well as non-functional requirements, both of these. Does this make sense? Anybody have a confusion on understanding quality?
I'm good.
Anybody else?
I'm good,
No,
sir.
sir.
Thank you.
Great, no problem. Sure, let's go ahead. Let's take another step. So what we do as an IT company, we play around with data, right? IT, computer means data. We collect data points. So how do we collect data points? We collect data points on a day-to-day basis from various processes and activities, right? So we collect these data, we put it in a computer system, and we try to analyze in view of how we can be more and more satisfactory to our clients. So for that, what we do, we build something like quality management system. So what is a quality management system? It's a set of business processes which are implemented within my organizations to help an organizations to deliver quality products to consistently achieve better satisfaction. So on a larger scale, whatever the system works to achieve towards better customer satisfaction is a QMS. So if I'm whining and dining with the customers to achieve better satisfaction, that's also comes under quality management system. I'm just sharing the information with you. As an IT, I build certain processes, I build certain standard execution methodologies or standard operating procedures. We call it SOP in day-to-day life, standard operating procedures. So in IT, I build such all repetitive standard operating procedures within a framework, and this is how we come across something called templatization. So I have a Word document template to be used by analysts. This is a part of quality management system. This is a part of quality assurance. This will make sure the quality is assured, because you need to fill in the blanks with the given parameters, right? And I shouldn't go above and beyond that, because this is what is needed. This template is came to me with the years of evolution of these standard operating procedures, SOPs. And this SOP basically makes our quality management system foolproof. So if you seen various TV serials or every movie on FBI, right, Federal Bureau of Investigation in North America, they have the largest collection of SOPs, state standard operating procedures, and that's how we mimic them as well, because they have a SOPs. According to my calculation, by the end of 2019, they have at least 30,000 plus SOPs for day-to-day executives to work. Why I have took this example? Because FBI is a body, FBI is an investigating authority where normal executives are PhDs, doctorates in their field. So we have doctorates, like it's a next step towards Masters of Education, right? You might know. So these are really expert in their field. So they are, doctors in psychology, they are doctors in literature, there are doctors in criminal, criminal psychology. They are doctorates in something like forensic science. Even they are doctorate in cyber security matters. So we have all these doctorates. They are working on SOPs, and the SOP numbers are so large, like we make satire of them in most of the movies. Could you recall Die Hard? In Die Hard 1, there's a dialogue. This, I forgot the name of the hero there. He tells his to his colleague, now see. No, the villain basically tells his to his colleague, now see. If VI will, execute its SOP number so and so, they'll switch off the light within the vicinities. They'll switch off the power for the vicinities, because they were robbing a bank. I believe that's what the whole plot of the Die Hard movie is. Have you seen Die Hard 1? Any of you?
No, sir.
No.
No, man. Okay. Which are the FBI serial or movie have you seen? Have you seen Shooter?
No.
Shooter is a movie on a retired soldier. There's a plot. There's a false plot by FBI of assassinating a president, and they assassinate Pope, something like that. So Shooter is a good movie, which I think quite famous. Have you watched FBI? There's a serial called FBI also. It's available on Netflix, Amazon, and all.
Yes, sir, FBA.
You've seen that, right? There also they mention the standard operating procedures. So these procedures have been evolved over time and time, and they update this procedure almost on a periodic basis, so that they can serve better, they can have better quality of investigations. That's how FBI works. If you haven't, you can go to anywhere and start understanding how FBI works. Means they have given quite a few standard operating procedures on their website as well. Not all of them, because this is national security matter. Okay, and this is how the SOP works. For an IT, as in we play with data, we collect all this data day by day with the name of different matrices. RTM is one of the matrices where we normally build the traceability. There are some matrices like attendance matrices. So what will be the attendance matrices have? Name of an employee, department of an employee, in time, out time, leave records, the internal conflicts you have with the team, and
Wage
so
of
on. So
an employee.
come again, ma'am.
Wage of an employee.
Yes, you can have a page of an employee where you have all those, complaints and, description included. Yes, page of an employee
No,
can be in.
wages, salary
Yes,
of
wage,
an
yeah,
employee.
salary of an employee, yeah, remuneration, salary, wage, or yeah, that's a crucial matter. That's because that creates the satisfaction, right? So if you get
Yes.
paid more, you're more satisfied. That's right. So we are now trying, trying to understand the SOPs now. And SOPs are basically, these are the standard procedures followed worldwide by normal humans. And that's how we build this SOP day in, day out. So we collect all these data to measure employee satisfaction. So all these matured IT company, they have day in, day out, they are measuring these measures. So even if you come 2 minutes early, they see it's a positive on the employee satisfaction record. If you're working on a weekend, that's also seen as a positive, positive mark on employee satisfaction. And that's how they work. We have these awards and recognition just to make sure we build some better positive satisfaction within our employees. And that's how we have these, improvement of processes for getting more satisfaction from customer, getting more satisfaction from employees, getting more satisfactions from the management as well, or the financiers, and so on and so forth. So for a given organizations, we have all these parts of the organizations where we try to build better experience for everybody with this improvement of this quality procedure, operating procedure, and it's a part of quality management system, quality assurance. This is how we assure quality to our clients. So if anybody asks you what you mean by quality assurance, these are the standard operating procedures which we align ourselves to acquire better quality, better satisfaction from all the parts and all the interactive component of a given organization. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Nobody will ask you definition, but you might need to explain if, the interviewer is quite inquisitive on certain quality system, because there are certain organizations like FBI, NASA, they are famous for their quality assurance than quality control. Quality control and quality assurance go hand in hand. You have to have quality assurance to do quality control. So how do I have? Normally in software scenario, you have something called test cases. What is a test case? Test case is a check made against the requirement. So if I have a requirement of biometric sensor, I need to have a test case making sure biometric sensor is working correctly as it's intended to work in a solution. This is a test case. So is it working? Yes. Is it not working? No. Why is not working? It should work, right? To get or to acquire the satisfaction. So creating test cases or writing test cases is one of the important tasks quality assurance team does, right? And then running these test cases, making sure you have confirmed to the requirement is what the test run means. Test run is running these test cases against the product or solution you have created. Does that make sense?
Sir,
Go ahead, please.
sir, this standard operating procedures, SOPs, are basically the guidelines which we need to follow. Like
Right.
these are the institute-specific guidelines, or the
These
the
are called policies
domain-specific
and procedures. Yeah, policies and
policies and
procedure implemented. But these are not just mere guidelines. These are the strict rules, if I can say so. But we use word called policies and procedures. Policy you need to stick to, you need to follow to. Otherwise, there's something called non-conformance or penalties.
Okay, sir. Yeah.
Guidelines, if you can do it, good. If you don't do it, yeah, it's okay. I don't have any authority on you. Policies and procedures, you have to do it. If you don't, then there's a penalty. There's a penalizing procedure attached to it, right? There are laws, and there are we have laws, and we have basically wrongdoers. So we have to track those wrongdoers and make the fitment as per the law, And if you break the law, there are penalties. You might have an imprisonment, you might be charged in a court for some fine or something like that. So these are the laws, these are not guidelines. So guideline might not be a right word. These are policies and procedures. Does that answer your question, ma'am?
Yes, sir. Thank
No.
you.
I'm stating this because in interview we shouldn't call them rules. We have to call them policies and procedures. If you can remember, I have said same thing in the last interviewing session. This is really crucial because whenever you talk, you have to mean it, right? And the meaning should be crisp and clear, because as an analyst we do coordinate on day in day out basis. So we need to, I know it's not the end of the world. We will learn eventually, but we have to practice these words. So what we do, we builds standard operating procedures, policies, and policies, and what I say, uh, policy
Procedures.
and confirm procedures, or say operating procedure for that matter, so that we can stick to these policies in a true sense. And there could be some penalties. It can be very little, it can be very grace, depending on the non-conformance. Okay, so this is how we have to explain within with our interview as well. Now, who does this thing? The top management. They start these quality management system initiatives, and then it pours down to the last employee, it's pours down to the workers, it pours down to the management, it pours down to the business analysts, and everybody within that organizations. And these are a kind of policies applicable to everybody within that organizations. Even if you see your CTO, you have to bind by those policies, or there are some repercussions, there are some penalties attached to it. And that's how we work, right? So whenever you say we have a quality assurance or quality control framework, you need to work, or you need to learn this thing in terms of how we can get used to it, how we can use it day by day, how we can excel in these things. If you excel in these, then there are some awards and recognitions planned within that organizations. This is again the quality management system differs depending on your organizations. ICICI Bank will have their own QMS. If you go to FBI, they have their own QMS. If you go to NASA, they'll have their own QMS. If you go to some other company like an hospital, they'll have their own QMS. Okay, putting up a QMS is an important and crucial part. Building up an QMS takes years altogether. It's a year, long term effort. It's not a ribbon cutting ceremony. So what we do, we build this QMS one step at a time. We build these policies and procedures one step at a time, and it get matured over the time. We will also have a look at various standard quality management processes adopted by many. There's something called ISO, you might have heard of. There's something called CMMA, what you heard of. There might be Six Sigma. These type of procedures are basically a standard framework you can choose to get to be followed for your organizations. But this is again standardization. Then you have quality management system customized to your organizations, and that's what we call QMS for Infosys, QMS for ICICI Bank, QMS for FBI, right? And this is how we work on these standard policies and procedures to be adopted by all these, members of organizations. Does that make sense? Could you understand what I'm trying to say here?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes. So if you're owning a business, you should have a QMS. You might not know it, but you have certain policy and procedure which you require the procedures to stick to, right? Can anyone explain what they understand by QMS in their words? And please give me a minute. Think it through. Give me a minute, please.
So can I try?
Yes. So who's going to explain to me what is QMS?
I can try.
Please, ma'am.
Okay, what I think is quality management system is something that enables any business or an organization to follow its compliances and optimize their quality and reduce their, more cost effective, more ROI, and
Yes, I missed that
achieve
point.
the
Thanks for bringing up.
ultimate excellence.
Yes. Great. I missed that cost point, right? So yes, quality management system also builds good ROI, good return on investment. It makes sure you build some efficiencies. Yeah, please go ahead, ma'am. You are explaining greatly. Please.
So actually, to achieve the operational excellence, we need to have some guidelines, and QMS
Very
is
rightly
nothing
said.
but, I guess, the list of compliances that everybody has to follow, be it a business analyst or a developers or the team.
Everybody. Anybody else want to explain?
Yes, sir. I'm going to explain it.
Please
Sir,
go ahead, ma'am.
QMS is the collection of business processes focused on constantly meeting customers' requirement and enhancing their satisfaction.
Wow, this is really good. Yes. That's really great.
Thank you,
So
sir.
this is what we talk about. We talk about operational excellence. We talk about following the policies and procedures to achieve the maximum satisfaction we can achieve. Yes, Mansa ma'am, do you want to say something?
Yeah, for the achieving of maximum customer satisfaction, we have to follow certain standards.
Wow.
As we making sure to achieve the satisfaction, we will done our part as a quality management system,
Perfect.
quality assurance.
Yes,
And
ma'am.
the example I remember for this, can I make like this or not? I don't know.
Yeah. Please.
Today
Don't feel.
only I read it and somewhere that in Subways, two guys ordered a sandwich, tuna sandwich. So after getting the bill and getting the delivery, they saw that the tuna is not found in that. So they have done the law. They have made it a
File the
lawsuit
case.
against the Subway.
Right. Yes,
So
I know.
So maybe it is connected to that
Exactly.
example. I
Yes,
don't
this
know.
is connected to the quality. This is connected to the standardization. So if you can use word like operational excellence, better ROI, standardization, this is all what we need. And
Okay.
that's what the quality assurance is all about. You have very rightly said, this case is based on the repetitive standardized delivery of a product. It's a product.
Yes.
Even you
Yeah.
talk about Microsoft, McDonald's fries, it's a product delivered by a multinational. So they have to have certain guidelines, so certain standard requirement of look and feel, taste and everything, even aroma.
Mm.
So they are bound by those, strict policies and procedures. Even for
Yes.
Subway, if you know, the dough for the bread comes from a singular factory within North America, throughout the North America. In India, similar scenario. Why? Because they want to standardize the bread processes. They have, I think, around 8 to 9 standard types of bread, and the our all outlet can get those dough from a singular location within North America, delivered to them by these cold trucks or cold storage trucks. If you
Mm-hmm.
know these things, even for
Yes.
McDonald's, similar scenario. Why? Because they want to standardize their product. They don't want to have a different variation in the taste of the product. Like if you get a bread from corn, it tastes differently. If you get bread from Indian wheat, it tastes differently. Even in
Yes.
India, we have around I think 300 all different wheat varieties. Means the wheat which get produced in India, they have so many varieties. So each of these wheat have their own way of taste, own way of aroma. If you start making bread from these wheat, right, these different type of weights. So that's how it works in a restaurant chain, in a productized fast food outlet. That's what they say. means the legal name for McDonald's and all these things. These are productized fast food outlets: Burger King, McDonald's, Subway, and this is what you call domain information on a particular topic. So we are talking about fast food joint. So if you want to include fast food joint support, you have to know these things, or you might know this thing by default. And this is how we work. And this is what we call quality assurance. Why these procedures and policies have been made? To make sure we have a uniformity in a product, so we can achieve the satisfaction as advertised. So we are trying to make it compliant with the advertisement, whatever we shown to our clients, and this way we are trying to acquire customer satisfaction. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Yes.
Great, no problem.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, so let's go ahead on this thing. So we use management framework to ensure consistent quality, and this is all evolved over the time, and basically it's evolved more in recent year because of the various technological advancement. Nowadays what we have delivery by drones. We can get things delivered due to faster and better air cargo speed within few hours than within few days. Previously, all deliveries from LA to New York used to do by roads. Now they all do by airways, because airways are more efficient and they are not cheaper, but I believe the organizations are more aligned to find the positivity in quick delivery rather than wait and delivery. Even we get these sales, right? You get discount sale 10%, 20%. Why they create these discounts? Because they want to reduce the shelf life. This is important if you're working in a supply chain. So what you do, we normally reduce the shelf life. So we try to reduce the product sitting on the shelf as much as possible. So we are ready to deliver at their home. What Amazon does, it takes it from a producer and deliver it to your home. So the shelf life is minimized to its extreme. That's how Amazon came into picture. That's how the Amazon business model have been shaped. The quickest delivery from produce to consumption. That's what the overall, I think, their early USP was. Now they have added to it. They have improved their quality. They have improved their delivery. They use better and better delivery mechanism to serve faster and faster, so that they can generate the revenue faster. They can increase the throughput of the business. That is crucial for such online stores. And then we have the other online stores for that matter, right? So they also have a QMS within themselves. And you need to remember this word, quality management system, which encompasses quality control as well as quality assurance. And we have certain on top of that, like we call awards and recognition. These are to improve better quality, or make sure better satisfaction is achieved, right? That's how we build quality management system. And this is normally referred as QMS. And there are some better standard templarization or methodology we have came across. Few of them are total quality management, the capability maturity model, CMMI, the international standard organization, ISO, Six Sigma, and so on and so forth. And there are various specialized quality management system for hospitals. So we have specialized domain specific quality management system, which are adopted by many of working within that domain. Like for all IT online merchants, they have to have PCI compliance. So we have personal computers security PCI interface, that's what they call. So this is a compliance which is required by Amazon of the world, the Uber's of the world. Whoever doing business online, they have to have a compliance with this PCI standard. This is again worldwide standard. There are certain worldwide standard, and there are certain standard who are created by local governments, right? Like this COVID standard which we have. Why we have COVID standard? Can anybody explain to me? What does they do for us? why we have these additional rule of social distancing and blah 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 stuff? Can anybody please throw some light?
To break down the chain without spreading more.
Great. And why we do that?
Put an end to it ultimately.
That's right. So we are building precautions. We are trying to control the virus spread. So it's a kind of quality assurance system. But still people go and they have party. They have all those get-togethers. So what we do, then we have control. How do we control?
Penalize.
Yes, we even vaccination is a quality assurance. What is a quality control? If you catch a COVID in early days, you will get some meditation. You will fed up with some. You will be supplied with some vitamin C and some antibiotics. Antibiotics is a quality control. You are responding. Quality assurance, you are proactively doing. Even if it happens, you have some control over it on some bad happenings. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Great.
Yes,
So
sir.
let's go ahead, please. Somebody want to say something?
Nothing, sir, nothing. Go ahead.
Okay, great. No problem. We should discuss more. I believe, I'm talking, and you are just listening. But yes, there are far and few. We keep discussing because unless you discuss, unless you share your idea, you're not going to understand. These are the topics we don't do day by day. But yes, these are the nomenclature which we start using day by day so that we will know more, right? So what QMS has, how do we build QMS? There are
So,
normally
sir,
11. Sorry, go ahead, please.
sir, can I say about my understanding on QMS?
Sure, definitely, ma'am. That's why I asked. Please go ahead.
Yeah. So quality management system is basically, how do I manage the quality? Quality
Wow.
in the sense, how do I make sure I achieve excellence with, every iteration of the, I want to make the better version of myself in regards
Right?
to the
Wow.
customer satisfaction as well as the return over the investment, optimization of resources, being more
Wow.
efficient in all the manner.
Ma'am, if you can say this thing in your interview, he'll select you as a, tester. He'll select you as a quality assurance people. Believe me,
Yeah.
you said it in the exact words what we are looking for. If you could write down these things, or if you could put in a chat box, I would like to, everybody to use these words. And she will explain it really well. Thanks a lot, ma'am. Thanks a lot.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
you should
Thank you,
talk
sir.
more, ma'am. Believe me.
Yeah, no, actually, I try to keep myself on the mute mode because of the kids around. I
I
don't
can
want to
understand.
disturb
Please
them.
don't
Yeah,
worry on that part.
yeah,
See, when you that time we were interviewing. Pardon me because even I was worried about so I have guided in that scenario. For these
yeah,
sessions, I am okay for listening to your kid. We might ask some quality question to him also, him or her. So what he
yeah,
means by quality. So please don't worry. For
yeah.
interview,
Thank you,
see,
sir.
interview are professional sessions, ma'am. So
Yeah,
try to understand the difference, and there we try to showcase ourselves, right?
yeah,
So
yeah.
if you have certain interference, you need to stop certain interference there. It's a required for that specificity. For training, I can understand, and everybody can understand. So you need to
Yes, sir.
speak up unless and until, because the words you used are really great. Means I think everybody can benefit on those words.
Thank
So
you, sir. Yeah.
I believe everybody will be thankful if you speak more. And we have,
Dipti, you
this is what
can
we call
write
group
down, I
learning,
mean, you
right?
can put it in the group.
Yeah,
Exactly.
I am also trying to say this.
Yeah, yeah. I'll try to recall it and write it. Uh,
Okay, okay.
can
Thank
Sure,
I
you.
ma'am.
repeat it and somebody can note it down?
Yeah,
I, I
please
I'll
tell
try to
me.
repeat it.
I will do
Yeah,
it.
yeah. So
No problem.
quality management system, whatever, see how I approach anything is, first of all, most of the things are, they are very meaningful with their name only. So whatever comes, whatever question comes in, comes at us, first of all, we need to just focus on the words what are written, because they have chosen the word very wisely. Some wise person has done this, so they wanted to keep it simple and user friendly. So most of the words they use, they have meaning to itself. Even if we use, some of, just focus on the words, we can get a very good meaning of that. So quality management system is basically, how do I manage my quality? How do I want to improve, you know How do I want to improve ourselves with every iteration, with every version? I want to achieve excellence in my products. So that's what I'm trying to do. Excellence in all the terms, in the terms of customer satisfaction, return over investment, being more optimized, and saving the cost. So these are the different scenarios which we can think where we can achieve the excellence.
Sure. And
So
mostly said our quality control. Now, what is quality assurance is basically like we give those, medicine doses to our kids, right? Whenever they're born. So that's a quality assurance. You give a proactive meditation for polio. You give proactive meditation for tuberculosis. You give proactive meditation for osteoporosis, so that your calcium content are, at optimal level, your antibodies are at optimal level, so you can fight those chronic diseases. Same thing will happen with COVID as well. So you'll have this vaccination to have enough antibodies within your system, so that you can fight with the disease effectively. And this is what the quality control is all about. And the QMS is comprised of quality control and quality assurance as well. Quality assurance more predominantly. Quality control, yes, but quality control is a reactive measure. Quality assurance is a proactive measure. So I want to do more proactive things, so that I will not get hospitalized. My kid will not fall ill. So what I do, I do some proactive meditation, and this is what we call vaccination all about. Does that make sense?
So you can say quality control is a reactive measure and quality assurance is a proactive measure.
Yes, that's right, ma'am. Very rightly said. Okay, and we need to use these words repeatedly while we speak, so that we are ready to use it through our interview, through our even analysis discussions for that matter. And this is how I work on a day-to-day as a business analyst.
Can you give some real life example, let's say from any of our day-to-day, not day-to-day life, but the IT based on your experience,
sure,
let's say State
we
Farm
call
or
RTM,
anybody.
right? Yeah. Could you recall the requirement traceability matrix?
Yes.
Why we use that?
To keep the quality. So there's no stone is unturned, and then nothing is elapsed between from the time of evolution till the delivery. So they can keep a track of everything, and there is no.
So we can analyze who dropped the ball. Could you understand me? Means we can analyze, we can trace down who dropped the ball in terms of quality whenever something happens, right? Another way to look at it, making sure anybody doesn't drop the ball, so that they know we are being traced, we are being analyzed on whatever we are doing, however, how are we doing, and what are the policies and procedures we are following.
So that's how on the same line. Yeah.
Exactly. The uniformity of a work. Very correctly said. So uniformity.
So you call it a quality assurance, or you call that a quality control?
Uniformity is both, ma'am. Means there are certain procedures which see, RTM is basically a proactive measures, but the check of RTM, this is a kind of test case you call, right? Test case is what we need to test, and test run is what we test actually. So RTM is my test case. To check its compliance is my test run. So if Ravindra Pandey is doing whatever the organization have laid down policies and procedure, is my test case. Now, how do I check it? I'll go to Ravindra Pandey's record in the database and check out if Ravindra Pandey have followed the quality processes, have stick to the strict guidelines given by organizations. Even I don't use guidelines, so I say strict guidelines, but I normally say policies and procedures to be used, right? And this is how the QMS is formed. QMS is a written document. QMS is a website which we normally refer to whenever I need to check out if I'm following the compliance. Okay, does that make sense?
Yeah.
Does that answer your question, Lina ma'am?
So RTM is a proactive measure, mainly.
Yes, it's a proactive as well as reactive.
What would you call a quality control? What example we can?
Control is basically the checks we do, right? If I created a pen, a blue pen, so it should write blue, right? It shouldn't write red. If I've manufactured a pen which was supposed to write in blue, and if it's writing in a red, the test has been failed, right? The quality test has been failed. And how I came across it, when I start writing with that pen. So I need to start, I need to basically run some test cases. That's what I call. So what is a run test cases? Checking the things. The ID scanner should work with the light blue eye. If it's not, then I need to amend certain things in my solution so that it will comply to the satisfaction levels.
Got
Does
it.
that make sense?
Yeah, it makes sense.
Great, no problem. And just to add to the knowledge, as you're working in a pharmaceutical, the earlier doses which we were distributing as for the COVID are basically for malaria fevers. So even today, then 80% of the dosage you get are from malaria, because the medical fraternity believed COVID is more nearer to malaria. So let's try using that, those medicines. And that's how we work in terms of the nearest best scenarios. And this is also a quality assurance thing, because we'll try to find the closeness to the satisfaction if we can't go to the 100%. So this is a kind of evolutionary thing. This is not a perfect science. This is also, we are completely evolving. We are trying to work towards the scientific measures through these quality policies and procedures. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Could you understand me?
Yes, yes.
And this is basically, QMS is basically things to be learned than taught. So I can go on and on, because I've trained on something called project management office. In an IT organizations, there are some top boss which basically creates a body called project management office. These are the body who normally give approvals to all budgetary things, to all new quality initiatives. They are basically forefather of a QMS in a given organizations. If I can talk philosophically. Now what this PMO does, they create another body called quality audit team. These are basically quality assurance guys. What quality audit team does, they go to a production floor, they go to developers, they go to analysts, and they ask question like, so how do you feel this RTM is correct? Whatever you written down in that RTM. Why do you say Ravindra Pandey was an approver in your revision? Because he is another analyst working with you. So why he was approved? So you can say them, whatever justification you can give them, I have got the knowledge from Ravindra Pandey, so I have got it reviewed from him, so that I believe the approval make more sense rather than a sign off. So something like that sort. So this is how I adopt the quality processes, and this is how the PMO makes sure the complete organization is stick to the policies and procedures whatever we have developed as a QMS. And this is how the PMOs of the world, they build this new initiative of awards and recognition. So if Ravindra Pandey is the most compliance employee in the in organizations, he'll be awarded with, let's say, 3 weeks leave. And believe me, I have got these 3 days leave 5 times in my 2 years career at Enterprise Rent a Car. This is a CMMI level 5 company. We have Six Sigma practices included in them. Why I state this way? Because these are standardized processes, standardized framework, methodology have evolved over the time, and many software company, they stand by CMMI, capability maturity model, and I stand for continuous improvement. So CMMI level 5 is the topmost adoption, quality adoption QMS framework I can build my QMS on. And we'll learn in step by step how these QMS get adopted, why I should have CMMI, ISO, why Six Sigma, and so on and so forth. And what I would really request you, like whatever domains you have chosen, try to find quality QMS framework for that domain. So how do I find? I'll go to Google, I'll write banking system QMS. Then I'll find what are the QMS banking have adopted to. Because normally today we have a mix and match. So I have ISO plus CMMI if I work for Apple, any mobile factory, any instrument manufacturer for that matters. And I will discuss why CMMI and ISO and why not others. Okay, and we'll have a look at them also step by step. Just I'm thinking loud here. I'm trying to share why and what of QA and QC of the world. Have you understand the difference between QMS, QA, and QC?
So in some cases, if we have done with the quality control, I
Mhm.
think that half of the quality assurance is done. If we see the example of the customer needs a red pen, if we
Mhm.
have done the quality control, quality check as the pen is work
By the policies and procedures. Uh-huh.
yeah, giving a red color. So the
Mhm.
assurance is also one of the assurance will also be the pen is writing in red, right?
Right, that's right. That's rightly said.
Yeah,
So this is again test run. The
yeah.
test run confirms the pen can write in red, but the
Okay.
test kits which we build in quality assurance, see these are again logical boundaries we have created to understand the policy category, right?
Mm-hmm.
Within
Yes, sir.
organizations. At the end of the day, we are achieving satisfaction is our goal. So the whole QMS, whatever we do is achieving better satisfaction, achieving better ROI, achieving better efficiencies.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
that's how we work. So correctly said, you are right on that example.
Okay. Okay.
So anybody else have any confusion on QMS, QA, and QC? These three are really crucial and important words we need to remember: QMS, QC, quality control, and quality assurance. Okay, the quality assurance is a proactive measure, quality control is a reactive measure, and QMS have both these things and additional processes and policies on top of that, which we call SOP, standard operating procedures, right? So let's go ahead. So we okay now when we talk about QMS, what we have to think of, we have to think of how we build this QMS. What are the core element? There could be 11 core element, there could be 30 core element, there could be 6 core elements, depending on the trainer, depending on the organizations. They have these saying my six virtues of my best satisfied life, 11 virtue of my satisfied life. You can have any number of virtues of your satisfied life. If you're satisfied, you're satisfied. So if you're achieving quality, if you have policies and processes whatever needed for your domain, your work, it's more than sufficient, right? We need to stick to them and we need to achieve the optimum quality which we could within the given scenarios. That's how it works. For something like US military, for something like NASA, they try to achieve the perfections. So there they have very stringent methodologies. So they have many very stringent QMS. They'll have 300 core elements of QMS. Could you understand what I'm trying to say here? Anybody? Have you understand why there are more core quality QMS elements than few? If you are running something like US military organizations or NASA, because they strive for perfection, right? Could you understand what I'm trying to say?
So the number tells
The maturity, that's right, the maturity of quality management services. So the more I grow, I should have more stringent methodology how I spend my day, because I'll spend whatever I like, right? I'll spend to achieve the maximum satisfaction.
okay.
Does that make sense?
Yes.
Great. So
Sir,
what, yeah, go ahead please.
uh, sir, can we end today's session at this point?
Oh yeah, sorry, yes, it's almost, I think
I'm so sorry, but yeah.
No, I can understand. And we are here to work out. Please don't worry. Okay, could we have a session on Sunday evening?
Yes, sir, we can have.
Okay, so that we can maintain our 1.5 hour to almost at a logical conclusion point. So please don't worry. Okay, so let's have a session on Sunday evening, same time, 9 to 10:30. because I'm feeling we shouldn't get left out of this, interviewing and job acquisition type of spree. So I want you to participate with batch 1 and get the earliest possible job, and let's start earning something. And that's how we want to expedite certain things, including these trainings, including these discussions. And please don't worry on asking questions, because that no way slows down the training. Believe me, whenever you're asking questions, we have discussed quite a few additional elements in QMS today. So please don't go by slide number. Please don't worry about the progress. Let me worry about that. Only please keep asking questions. Please start bringing more questions. Even if you feel they are not related, I'll share, tell you so in a diplomatic manner. But please bring out more question. Please, do some homework. Please have a look at those, resume preparatory session, and please be there. It's my humble request to be there. You can be muted, and I know if you are on job, you don't have to answer question, or you can just write in a chat box, I'm at work, so please I couldn't talk much, or something like that in a chat box, so we can understand, right? But please be there. The listening also important part of the training, and if you have a question, you can ask after the session also. Nobody can stop you on that. Okay, so let's stop here. Thanks a lot for your time. If you
The
have, go
Sunday
ahead.
evening at what time?
9 p.m. ma'am. 9 p.m. to 10:30 p.m.
EST?
EST, ma'am. Yes, we always have EST, right? 9 p.m.
Okay.
EST, that's our timing, right? Same
Yeah.
timing. Only we don't have a class on Sunday normally, but I believe we are lagging in terms of our schedule achievement. So let's,
Okay.
try to buckle up. That's what I'll say.
Yeah, no problem, sir.
No problem. Great. If anybody have a problem, please put it in the group. And don't worry, we are recording every session, so you'll not miss anything. But even if you missed, you can give me a call, and we can have one-on-one session as well. I'm there to help out. So please don't feel like left out or something. We are there. We are working as a group. We are learning as a team. Okay.
Sir, where can I watch
Okay.
the recordings?
You can watch, ma'am. Have you accessed that sheet, ma'am, on
Yes,
the
I
training?
did send the email.
Come again. You send the email. Yeah. Just wait for a day or two, because the I think recruitment team does this approval or addition process, and I'll coordinate with them as well.
Sure.
Okay.
Thank
So most probably by tomorrow morning or tomorrow evening, you'll have that access.
you. Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Sure. Yeah. No problem, ma'am. Most welcome. Anybody else have any question for me? Okay.
No,
Let's wind
sir,
it.
we are good.
Good. Okay, we are good, right? Okay, sure.
Okay.
Let's complete our training. Have a good night, and please come down on that resume preparatory session, right? Thanks
Okay,
a lot.
sir.
Oh,
Thank
Have a
you.
good night.
thank you,
Bye.
sir.
Good
Take care.
Thank you.
night.
Okay. Bye, sir.